Another big man battle in the second national semifinal. UConn-Alabama. You got Donovan Clingan, 7'2", 280. You got Grant Nelson. Don't forget about him, 6'11", 230. He's wiry. He can shoot the three. And we got our heavyweights here. Armando Bacot, Hunter Dickinson, two of the best big men in the country. And we got the coach, former NBA Coach of the Year and former Alabama coach Avery Johnson. Let's start with Alabama. They play fast, under 15 seconds offensive possession. Break down the Tide's offense.
Well, you talked about Grant Nelson. It's not just Grant Nelson in the Alabama big setting screens. It's Grant Nelson handling the ball in a pick and roll situation. So let us set it up. So here's Grant Nelson and a big guy from Connecticut. We're talking about Clingan here. Can he play in the perimeter? Can he play on the perimeter? So now Grant Nelson is going to be handling the basketball. Can I get another defender in here? I'm setting the screen. I'm Mark Sears. So this is called a reverse pick and roll because you have the big guy handling the ball and the smaller guy, Mark Sears, setting the screen. So you're coming up to set the screen. If he goes under, what's going to happen, Armando?
Shot.
A three-point shot because Alabama makes over 11 threes a game. They want to attempt 40. If they decide to switch Connecticut, you switch. Now there's a mismatch there or a mismatch here because now you have Mark Sears or Donovan Clingan or Samson Johnson, their backup. Can these big guys play in this game above the three-point line? So in this situation, Hunter, what are you thinking from Clingan? Is he going to space Mark Sears? Is he going to back up? Is he going to step up? What are your thoughts because you know this team very well?
I think, like you said, Alabama's trying to shoot as many threes as possible. So you got to try to get up, not let them get that airspace. Clingan's very long defender, so try to get your arm out and being able to touch him, I feel like would be the biggest thing. And then Mark Sears being a left-handed guard, got to try to make him go right.
And you know what? Your foot position is perfect because you have to be on that three-point line or above because Mark Sears has unlimited range. The last part of this where Alabama is really good is that when they push Grant Nelson down a little bit and Mark Sears decide to put the ball on the floor and then this defender helps in, that's a wide open three. That's like a layup for Alabama.
It is. And look, you know what Alabama can do. I mean, you saw it firsthand in Sweet 16. What did they do against you that frustrated you, that sort of disrupted you?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, in transition, usually you get a big running down the middle of the court. They all run to the outside and the perimeter. So I think for Cleveland, a huge thing is just knowing that the big may run out to the wing and just being ready.
Well, I'll tell you what, big fella went to work.
He did. He had to work.
Yeah, I mean, he got to get it down low,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not as big down there, so he can have a field day
Right.
for sure.
You know who else did his work? Hunter Dickinson against UConn.
Yes,
UConn
sir.
lost 3 times this season. That's it. One of them to his Kansas Jayhawks squad. When you face them, when you face Donovan Clingan, I mean, what is that like playing against him? Because he can bang just like you can.
No, it's tough because I think the first thing that really stood out about him was just his size. He's really tall, but he's also built. And so he's a big body, like you said, banging down there. And I think the thing that makes him so dangerous is he's playing with studs. And, Dan Hurley's offense is so good to where he's going to get some guys open. He's going to get advantages. And they do a really good job of, if a big helps uphill, they do a really good job of just throwing it up to him. And he's really good at finishing.
And let's demonstrate that here for a second. So we'll give you the ball.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And then Hunter's right. Connecticut has 8,000 plays, split screen action, staggered action. We're going to just show you the end of one of their actions when they get into a little bit of a curl. So they've run their offense for 14 seconds, and now they're coming inside of that 10-second mark. Here's your curl, and this is how Clingan gets his buckets. You beat this defender. You catch the ball here, force the defender to step up, and now right over the top. Right over the top, ball game over. When you make mistakes against this Connecticut offense, they make you pay for those mistakes.
And you know what we saw against Illinois? When Illinois tried to come in against Donovan Clingan, they were 0 for 19 on contested shots. Like, what are we doing? Why even come in there? When you see that sort of trend, why keep feeding that?
You got to get them away from the basket. That's the main thing. You put them in a lot of pick and rolls and a bunch of different actions. But I think with the way Alabama can shoot the ball, they'll definitely be tough.
They're going to be tough.
Hey, I think this game is an 8-point. Is it an 8-point spread?
It's 11.5.
Oh, that's so disrespectful to Alabama.
Well,
that's so disrespectful to my old team.
Well, hey, Alabama, this is the first time they've been here. This is their first trip to the Final Four. UConn looking to run it back, become the first team since Florida in 2006, 2007 to win back-to-back national champions. Chomp, chomp. Hey, we got two big heavyweights here.
Yeah.
Thank you for Armando Bacot, Hunter Dickinson, Avery. We appreciate the demo.
Thank you,
the demo in the desert from Phoenix.
Let's go.